Harry Truman was running for president. Audiences would scream out because he was known as a plain-spoken guy. Give him hell, Harry! And he'd say, look, I'm just going to tell them the truth, and they're going to think it's hell. I'm just going to tell people the truth. They're going to think it's hell.
Okay, just an example. For me as a leader, one thing that I struggled with for a long time until I was able to kind of have this beat out of my head through a little bit of pain and mentorship was false kindness. See if a guy on your team is doing a poor job and you're like, you're doing a good job.
You're a good person.
Yeah, you're a good person.
You brought in some donuts. I know how it is,
You're a good person.
And what with the kids, everybody's busy.
That's the whole thing with it. And the thing I would do is I would want to go to someone, I would say, hey, you need to stop being late. And they would say, oh my gosh, after I brought in the donuts, how could you possibly?
Right.
And I would feel bad that I was truthful.
Did you say to that person, and I don't know if you did.
Yeah, help me.
Did you say to them the wisdom of the American military, which is, son, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. So son, if you're 14 minutes early, what are you? Late, son, late. See, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. So if you're 14 minutes early, son, you're late, son.
Yeah. I think that pre-2005 me, no. But then once I came back, I was gone for 1 week on a little trip with my wife. I come back, the office is an abomination. Yeah. I quickly learned that false kindness is not being truthful. So
well, it's a path that hurts you, hurts them, and hurts your society. Other than that, it's fantastic.
But you feel good.
It hurts you, it hurts them, and it hurts your civilization. Other than that, it's great.
But you can avoid confrontation for about 4 minutes a week, right? Okay,
yeah.
Moving on. So characteristic number 7. Characteristic number 7, applied faith. Now Napoleon Hill talks about this. Now I'm not making this a spiritual faith, but I want to get your take on this. Napoleon Hill says, faith is a state of mind through which your aims, desires, plans, and purposes may be translated into their physical or financial equivalent. What role does having a faith in yourself or a faith in karma or a faith in what role do these ultra, not the kind of successful, but the super successful people, what role does having a faith in something big or a big purpose have in their life?
Vital. It's not a belief in their capacity to do it. It's almost a calling that they're destined. There's a destiny. Funny, if you go back and read biographies on the Beatles, and you say, you read interviews with John Lennon, Paul to some degree, but John particularly, and John was asked in 1964, Mr. Lennon, you're the biggest group in the world. We're kids from Liverpool. Could you ever imagine a tenth of this? Could you ever have envisioned it? Yeah, I knew it. You crazy? How could you know it? No, I knew it.
I want to ask...
No, he's either crazy or telling the truth.
I want to ask you this because I know we're talking about how to become super successful in the observations you've had from this career, but at some point you had to have moved from the alcoholic, chaotic family and you had to have landed your first client. Talk to me about how faith applied right there.
Well, first, the faith may have been born out of no choice, no backup plan. I come to L.A., and first thing I do is burn the boats. And what that means is that I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a plan B. Now, when people don't have a plan B, it's either you do this or you die.
Yeah.
Focus your mind pretty good. See? And I just sensed that if I would work hard enough, cheap enough in the beginning, crack dealers don't charge for samples. See how that is?
I'm not going to put that on a t-shirt, but I think I agree with what you're saying.
Crack dealers don't charge for samples. If you like your product,